Okay, in this lesson, we're going to do the exact opposite of the last lesson that I recorded. Remember in the last lesson, I gave you the equation and I asked you to graph it. Now, this time, we're going to kind of do the exact opposite. I'm going to give you the information and I'm going to ask you what the equation is. So remember, y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, and b, if you remember correctly, was the y-intercept, and it is 0, comma, whatever b is. Okay, I have no idea why they call it b. It's probably Latin, but you just have to learn that. All right. So, given this information, I know the slope is 4, and I know the y-intercept is -6. If I think about the equation y equals mx plus b, I can actually write the equation very quickly, because y equals m is 4, so it's 4x. B is -6, so it's -6, or plus -6. Yes, it's that easy. If they give you the slope and the y-intercept, it's so quick to write the equation on the line. Okay? So what does the slope mean? The slope means 4 over 1, which is up 4, right 1. The y-intercept is 0, -6. And I can graph it. Start from 0, -6, which is right here, I believe. And go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. And I've got enough information to graph it. So I'm going to go ahead and graph this now. Start here in my case. Actually, I'm going to start here. Ignore that other line. I'll get rid of it in a minute here. Something very close to that. It's a little bit crooked, but it's really hard to do this on the computer. All right, so it looks something kind of like that. All right, what's the key here, though? The key here is writing it like this. In fact, that's what I'm going to be grading on most of the assignments tonight. Okay? Second equation, our second problem. Now this time, we've got to look at the difference between example 1 and example 2. In example 1, I gave you the slope and I gave you the y-intercept. So that was real quick to do. What's different here? Well, hopefully by now you're realizing that, well, I don't have a slope. So I have to come up with some way to calculate the slope. Well, it just so happens that I have a formula for that, right? Slope equals y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. And if you don't know what that formula is, or you don't recognize it, go back to the lesson on slope, and there's a couple examples of that. But go ahead and plug in the pieces. So I have 0 minus a -4, which is +4. And I have 3 minus 0. So I end up with 4/3. My slope is 4/3, which means up 4, right 3. And my y-intercept. Remember, my y-intercept is always 0, comma b. Well, it just so happens that right here, 0, comma something, that has to be the y-intercept. So my y-intercept is actually 0, -4. Not so hard. So let's go ahead and use that information. Start from 0, -4, put a dot there. Follow the slope. It says go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 3. Up 4, right 3. All right, graph that. And it looks something like that. Okay? That's what the graph looks like. Now, what would the equation look like? Because that's really what this lesson's about. Well, that's what the graph looks like, and the equation looks like this. Y equals mx plus b, right? So y equals 4/3, because the slope is 4/3, x plus, what's the y-intercept? -4. So plus a -4. So in actuality, plus a negative 4 is really minus 4, right? So I should change that to minus 4, not plus a negative 4. Minus 4. And that's the equation of the line. Okay? Next example. Do the same thing as before. I don't know what the slope is, so I can use the slope formula. Slope formula is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So fill in the blanks. 0 minus 2 over 5 minus 0, and I get negative 2 over 5, right? Which is down to right 5. And my y-intercept is real easy because that 0 comma anything is a y-intercept. So 0 comma 2 is my y-intercept. So what's the equation of my line? Y equals, what's my slope? Negative 2/5 x plus 2. There's the equation of the line. Graph that real quick. I'm going to do a quick little sketch of it. Start at 2, go down 2, right 5, down 2, right 5, okay, up 2, left 5. That should be enough to graph it. All right, so my equation of my line looks something like that, right? Okay, but what is the key here? The key to this whole thing is this equation right here. Okay? Other two examples. Now these are a little bit different because what's missing? Well, I don't have points. I don't have a slope. I don't have a y-intercept. All I have is a graph. Well, I can actually use this graph to quickly find the equation of the line. Because what are the two things I need? Well, I need the slope, m, x, and I need the y-intercept, b, right? Well, can I find the, let's do the easy thing first. Let's do the b number. Well, the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. Well, that's easy. It crosses right here. Yeah? It crosses right there, which makes the y-intercept what? I'm going to say it actually crosses right there, which makes the y-intercept 7. So 0, 7. And to find the slope, all I have to do is find 2 points that are nowhere on the line. So let's say I know that point and I know that point. And how do I get from this point to this point? Do I go, remember slope is up, down, over, left, right, yeah? So do I, starting from the left-hand point, do I go up or down? Well, I go up, right? Up how many? Up 7. And then I go right 2. So up 7 is positive 7, right 2 is positive 2, so the slope is 7/2. So I can quickly write the equation now. Y equals, the slope is 7/2 x, 7/2 x plus, what's the y-intercept? 7. Easy. If you see a graph of a line, it's really easy to go to the equation as long as you know a couple points on the line. Let's do the same thing on example 4. So I know that dot right there, and I know that dot right there. Well, what do I need? I need y equals mx plus b, right? Well, the y-intercept is 4, so let's go ahead and write that first. The y-intercept is 4, so 0, 4. And the slope is going to be what? Well, let's start from the left-hand point. I go down 4, and I go right 6. So down 4, right 6. Down is negative, so negative 4. Right is positive, so that's positive 6. And be careful, don't write negative 4, 6. That could be simplified to negative 2/3. So write my equation, y equals negative 2/3 x plus, what's the y-intercept? 4. And there's my equation. Okay? Now the last example looks intimidating to some people, but it's actually not at all. If you go all the way back to the beginning of the school year, I taught you a lesson on functions, all right? So what this, let me explain to you real quick what this means. If I said f of x equals 2x plus 1. Okay? What I'm saying is f of x means function. So this is the machine. What's the machine doing? It's following this rule, 2x plus 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put numbers in for x and get numbers out for y. Okay? So if I saw f of 2, what am I saying? I'm putting a 2 into the machine. So what I'm saying is x is going to become 2, right? And I get f of 2 is equal to 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So f of 2 is 5. What does that mean? It means I put a 2 into the machine, x is 2, and I got a 5 out. So it's really just a point. When you see something f of 2 is 5, what I'm saying is 0.25 is on the line. So what am I saying here? I'm saying 0.0 negative 2 is on the line, and I'm saying 8.4 is on the line. Let me walk you through that again. I put a 0 in the machine, I get a negative 2 out. I put an 8 into the machine, I get a 4 out. Input, output, x, y. Put a 0 in, get a negative 2 out. Input, x, output, y. So there it is. I've got everything I need. Now this problem looks exactly like what we did earlier in here, which is 2 points, right? So let's do that. What do I need first? Well, I need the slope. Well, remember, slope is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So y1 is negative 2, so negative 2 minus 4 over 0 minus 8. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6 over negative 8. Negative divided by a negative is positive, so this is a positive number, and 6/8 is really 3/4. Right? And the y-intercept is, well, look right here. 0 comma anything, that's a y-intercept, so my y-intercept is 0, negative 2. So let's graph that. Go to 0, negative 2. And the slope is 3/4, which means up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 4. Up 3, right 4. Down 3, left 4. And there we have it. Graph that. Looks something like that. And there you have it. How to find the equation given the slope and the y-intercept. Very important lesson, almost as important as that previous lesson. You're going to be using this all the time, and by the time we're done with this, this will just be second nature to you. You won't even have to think about it anymore. Good luck with this assignment.